Well, I'm here at the West Norfolk Voluntary and Community Action place, and I've got Anna Sylvester here. And what is it you actually do here?
Hello John, I'm the volunteering officer at West Norfolk Voluntary and Community Action. It's my job to work with local charities and community groups and to help them to find volunteers to support the work that they do across West Norfolk. We work in Kings Lynn, in Hunstanton, in Swaffham and in Downham Market, and we work with charities and community groups across that area. I also talk to people who are interested in finding out about volunteering and finding out if there's things that they can get involved in, and it's my job to match people up with organisations so that people can find the best things for themselves. I also help local groups to use volunteers in the right way, to look at the legal side of using volunteers, and generally promote volunteering and answer questions from people who are interested in finding out some more.
So do you find there's a lot of demand for volunteer work in this area?
There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of organisations who are looking for help, particularly in these really quite difficult times. Organisations increasingly are looking for people with some quite professional skills. They're looking for people who can help out with marketing and fundraising, that sort of thing. But there's also a lot of demand for people who are just able to offer a couple of hours of their time to pitch in, to get involved, to be part of a team or to do something by themselves to help to keep a charity running and to keep them delivering the good work that they do.
What are the different types of voluntary work that people could do?
There's lots of different things that people can do. Sometimes we have some quite clear ideas that it's just charity shops or working with older people, but volunteers happen in all different walks of life. People can volunteer with animals in West Norfolk at the RSPCA or at the Riding for the Disabled Centre at Wallington Hall near Downham Market. There's lots of opportunities working with the historic buildings in West Norfolk, so for example at the Red Mount in Kings Lynn or the South Gate, which are both fascinating buildings, and it's a really good opportunity to get inside those and learn more about those. There's lots of organisations that work with people with perhaps specific illnesses or conditions, and that's where you might find yourself thinking, well, I'm interested in that particular condition or my family's been affected by it, so I want to give some time back to that. For example, the Stroke Association work with people who've been affected by strokes in communication support groups. West Norfolk Mind works with people with mental health problems, again in lots and lots of different ways. They have a furniture warehouse, for example, where they take items of furniture and sell them out. They also look for people who can actually work with their clients. There's an organisation called Big C that's just moved into Kings Lynn, which is the Norfolk Cancer Charity, and they're hoping to open a support centre in Kings Lynn over the next few months, which is going to have all sorts of help for people who've been affected by cancer. And at the moment they have a charity shop which they're using as kind of a shop front to get people walking through the door and to raise their profile. There's an organisation in Hunstanton called Families Against Neuroblastoma that help families of children who have a very specific sort of cancer. So there's some really interesting organisations and really valuable organisations in West Norfolk. But people can get involved in lots of things like, for example, people don't always think that guides and scout leaders are volunteers, appropriate adults working in police stations are volunteers, even special constables and magistrates are volunteers as well. So it's quite interesting where volunteers crop up in day-to-day life and the important contribution that they make.
So no matter what sort of interests or skills you've got, there's probably something voluntary you can do out there.
There is, and I like a challenge as well, and I like to try and find different things. So there's loads of stuff in this area that's about volunteering outdoors as well. On a fantastic day like today, I couldn't think of anything better. There's lots of opportunities on the North Norfolk coast, working at Home Dunes, for example, on the nature reserve there, or at Wolferton, Natural England, working at Dersingham Bog. There's a lovely project at Refley Wood in Kings Lynn which looks after a piece of woodland that they have family events in there, and they have a maintenance group that actually goes in and makes sure that the wood is okay. So there's some really good opportunities for people to kind of get their hands dirty and do something really quite practical as well.
Right. It's brilliant.
Yeah. A lovely one I heard of recently was an organisation called Gleaning UK, who came up to King's Lynn to they harvest excess fruit and veg across the country and redistribute it. And they were actually harvesting a field full of parsnips near King's Lynn and got in touch with us because they needed volunteers to go and do that. So there's all sorts of weird and wonderful things that people can get involved in.
Yes, that's really interesting. Can you tell us all about time credits and how they work?
Time Credits is a project that's happening in West Norfolk. It's run by an organisation called SPICE, which started at the University of Cardiff, and it's moved out into different pilot projects across the country. It's been happening in West Norfolk for about a year, and it's had huge success. The idea is it's about people who wouldn't ordinarily volunteer having the opportunity to get involved. The way time credits work is that somebody gives an hour of their time and they receive a kind of a token back, which they can use in lots of different local venues. For example, the Corn Exchange has been involved with time credits and some of the other leisure facilities in West Norfolk. So it's where somebody actually gets a reward for giving a bit of time, which is something that kind of helps people to get involved in volunteering and just rewards people for the efforts that they do make. Volunteer marshals at the recent Gear Run were able to earn time credits there, and it's just lovely to think that people are giving their time and they're getting a little nominal something back as well to encourage them to continue to volunteer.
So who organises the time credits then?
It's an organisation called SPICE.
It's like a national thing.
That's right, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anyone is thinking of volunteering, what are the reasons why they should volunteer? What would they sort of get out of it?
Wow. Where do we start? Volunteering is a fantastic way of using some of your skills and really having fun doing something that you maybe never thought that you would do. I think one of the nice things about volunteering is it is voluntary. People can choose to do it and they can choose to use their time and their energy in the way that best suits them. It's something that you might have a day job that is in a particular area, but you can go and volunteer in your spare time doing something completely different, meeting new people, learning new things, really feeling that you're giving something back as well to the local community, being part of helping something to happen. I think if you've not been working for a while, it's a good way of getting back into the work routine. It's a good way of maybe learning new things and trying new areas of work, but also if you've got some particular professional skills, it's a good way of offering those back. I think sometimes we find ourselves spending a lot of time with the same people and in the same little routines, and so by going out and doing some volunteering you might actually be meeting new people and people that you didn't think you would get to spend time with, and all the different possibilities that can come with that. And it is actually a really good way to have fun. There's actually studies that have shown that volunteers are happier and healthier and more involved in their local community than people who perhaps don't use their time in that way. So really the possibilities are endless.
So have you done any volunteering yourself?
I have, yes.
Got a lot out of it?
I've got a lot out of it. I've actually, I came down to Norfolk through volunteering, getting involved with an organisation called Community Service Volunteers, and that was the reason I moved down to Norfolk. I currently volunteer with Citizens Advice Bureau, and I really enjoy the time, the opportunities that I've been able to have through doing that.
So if there's somebody out there who's sort of got a bit of spare time and they're thinking of taking up voluntary work, what would you advise them to do?
I would advise them to get in touch with us. We act as an umbrella organisation, knowing about different opportunities and different organisations in West Norfolk. So even if we haven't got what that person's looking for, we can go and find out. We can find out the different things that people can get involved in. People can have a look on the Do It website, which is the National Volunteering Database. If you just look up www.do-it.org, volunteering.org.uk. You can put your postcode in there and have a search around and see the different things that are happening. You can make online inquiries and the organisation will get back in touch with you with some more information. People can get in touch with us and sit down and have a confidential chat with someone who knows about local opportunities and can try and match them up with the right thing. Also, if there's organisations that you know in your local area, they're always happy to have people approach them and tell them a little bit more about what's going on and how they can get involved. I think it's a matter of thinking about, what do you like doing? What are you good at? What do you want to offer your time at? Do you have a particular cause or a particular interest? How much time have you got? The geographical area, if you live in Hunstanton, is it practical to volunteer in Kings Lynn, or would you be looking for something on your doorstep? Think through all those different practical issues and then either approach an organisation directly or get in touch with us and we can try and point you in the right direction.
So how would somebody get in touch with you?
Right, good question. We are based in Kings Lynn. Like I say, we cover the whole of West Norfolk and Swaffham. Our telephone number is 01553 760 568, or you can email volunteering@westnorfolkvca.org